प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वाणी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तगकेशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्। लोके सज्जन षट्पथैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। So what does Bhagavan have to say when it comes to the concluding verses of chapter 14? If you remember, Arjuna asked the question, how do I recognize a person who has overcome the pressures of the gunas? There are gunas, three gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. Nobody is purely sattva, nobody is purely rajas, nobody is purely tama. We all have a mixture of all three gunas. These gunas manifest themselves differently when one faces different kind of situations. There is a threat and your reaction is bury your head in the sand and hope that it will go away. Tamo guna reaction. There is a threat and you say, Ishvara will take care. Let me remain calm. It will go away. Sattva guna reaction. There is a threat. I'll fight it out. Rajoguna reaction. It can be with you in the same day. Okay, so Krishna says one who goes beyond these three gunas. Okay, gunanetan atitya. One who is able to go beyond the three gunas. It doesn't go in beyond and all that you don't have gunas and all this. These gunas don't bother me. The gunas don't run my life. I run the gunas. I am objective to my gunas. If there is at one point of time, if there's a tamoguna dominating, I look at it objectively as a tamoguna dominating and try to correct it where necessary. Rajoguna, as long as a rajoguna domination is there and as long as it is dharma, there is no problem. So when I say somebody gunan atitya, that means the gunas don't run my life. I take care of my gunas. Okay. And such a person, what happens to Janma, Mrityu, Dara, Jara, Dukkha, Dukkhaihi, Vimuktaha, Amritam Ashnute, he is free, he becomes immortal. Immortal doesn't mean the body will live on forever, it's a nuisance value. There's a story, when Alexander came to India, he met a saint. Then he asked the saint, "Tell me, where is this lake which I've heard, the waters of which give immortality?" The sadhu refused to do. He said, "I'll kill you. Either you are a fellow who only thinks sword will work. Okay, if that's what you want, that's the direction. Go take it." So Alexander and a couple of others went that way. When they were almost close to the lake of immortality, when they were close to the lake of immortality, Alexander drew his sword and killed his two or three other lieutenants because he alone wanted to be the immortal one. See, yeah? Fear of Dvaita. Second one means there is fear. You want to be the only immortal one. Okay. So then he went and reached the lake and he was about to drink. There was a crow said, "Wait." He said, "Why should I wait?" He said, "I am the one who drank this water 500 years ago, or I don't know how long ago, and I don't want to die. I mean, I can't die even if I want to die." Just imagine living for 600 years. How many generations have gone by? Hey, these days, the third generation doesn't remember you. Your father, your sons, the children will remind you up to a point. Grandchildren will say, "Yeah, Tata is there." Some relic. When your photo won't be here. There's 600 generations of, 600 years have gone by. I want to go, I'm not able to go. Think whether you want immortality. So Alexander walked away. So perhaps that was the wisest decision he did. So immortality doesn't mean living on forever. Immortality means clear knowledge. I the Kshetrajna, I the subject cannot, does not die. What dies or what disintegrates is the object of my knowledge, my body. Body perishes because it's an object. I, the subject, do not perish. It's a knowledge. Naturally, there's a question. How do I survive my body? There's no question. There's no how do I know survive the body? You can't know. Quite simply because the instrument of knowing is in the body, not outside the body. The beauty is, Atma never dies. Atma cannot die. The body dies. But body is the only medium through which Atma can interact with the transactional reality. Okay. So if when I don't die means what will remain? So these questions have to be carefully understood. Immortality. I will get immortality. What is immortality? Live on forever. They live on forever live on for 2 days with back pain and you'll know what it is. When you want to live on forever. So, nobody wants to live on forever. Big nuisance, right? Even the pension paying authority will wind up and who will pay a pension? So live on forever. Without thinking, people say something. Eternal life. Eternal supper. That means the only thing you can think of is eating. Eternal supper. There must be some. When you say Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha, Vimuktaha, these things are viewed objectively as events in the body. Janma will happen. Okay, Janma will happen. If Janma has to be there, Mrityu has to be there. Mrityu, you will see Janma of somebody, you will see Mrityu of people, close to you, not so close to you, dear ones, not so dear ones. Everyone you will see. Janma, these are events in life which you will see. Jara, old age. Okay, people may say age is just a number. Please don't go for Zumba Bumba with all this information. Anyway, if you end up with an ankle twisted, you will do Zumba for life. Only thing you can think that somebody know in Tamil Zumba means something else. Okay. So don't be foolish. Age is a number. Age is a number. It's a reality. The body ages. It cannot do what it used to do 10 years ago. Forget what is 3 days before what I could do, I cannot do today. So, Jara. Then Vyadhi. Vyadhi means, doesn't mean serious illness. Some ailments will happen. If there is a nose, you will catch cold. You will have earache, you have stomach ache. Eyesight will dim. Okay, and then all this will happen. Chinma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, and other kinds of dukkha will also come. Loss of property, loss of wealth, loss of so many things. So many things you lose. LOSS, not LAW. Loss, loss. All this will be there. Sarvai vimuktaha. They don't grip your mind. You're free from the grip of all this. And that is Amritam. Rather than that, they say in Hindi, na, रोज रोज बार कितनी बार हम मरते हैं. How many times I die fearing this loss, fearing that loss, fearing this, all that doesn't bother you. That's what he says. Okay? And Amritam Ashnute. So Arjuna says, how do I recognize such a person? And that was explained to us that whether it is positive or unpleasant, this person is not disturbed by either. He doesn't long for the positive, he doesn't resent the unpleasant. He is objective. He knows if there is a positive, there will be an unpleasant. He knows how to handle the unpleasant. The unpleasant doesn't shake him. He is centered on himself. The unpleasant doesn't shake him. And the pleasant doesn't, what do you call, no? Sweep him off his feet. Okay? So that will happen. Then Udasina Vadasina. Udasina Iva Asina. There are so many events happening. You can't react to everything. You can't react strongly to everything. Therefore, in very many situations, you sit back and watch things happen as though indifferent. Udasinavat asina gunaihi na vichalyate. They don't disturb you. Okay? Achha. Achha. Then therefore, we also talked about sama dukkha sukha swasthaha. Swasthaha. Thaha means established. Pratishtita. Established. So you are swasthaha. You are established in what? Dukkha sukha samatvam. Samatvam doesn't mean you are not bothered or something like that. You are centered. These are events which you are able to objectively handle without being overwhelmed. Sama dukkha sukha swastaha sama loshtashma kanchana. Okay, kanchana is gold. Okay, mud, stone, all of them are same to you. It doesn't make sense. It means you don't attach over importance to it. Kanchana, gold gets its value. Gold has its value, stone has its value, mud has its value. You ascribe the right value to what you have. A sensible economist. Okay? Sama loshtashma kanchana. Tulya priya priyau dhiraha. Apriya priya tulya. You're balanced. Dhiraha buddhiman. Tulya ninda atma samstuti. When somebody does ninda to you, when somebody does stuti to you, you are not carried away. Such a person is not carried away. Is such a person difficult to find? You are like that in various ways. You yourself are like that in so many occasions. I personally know a lot of people who are not rattled by anything. They are not enmeshed in the roles. They are not rolled over by the roles. There are a lot of such people. They have handled a lot of things in life. Okay? Then mana, apamana yoho tulya, humiliation, okay, honor are taken absolutely with ease. Mitra, ripu, ripu means enemy. Mitra, friends. You know how to handle both of them. Acha. This is a beautiful word. Sarva aramba parityagi. Sarva, you don't begin anything. That means our Swamiji here, Swami Dayananda didn't want to begin anything. Shankara didn't want to do anything. Acharyas don't want to do anything. Sarva aramba parityagi, I don't want to do anything. Sarva aramba parityagi means starting an action with the objective of getting fulfillment from artha kama. Artha kama dharma related activity, if you think they will give you fulfillment, you give up that notion. That is sarva aramba paritya. Don't do any aramba for the sake of glory. You don't do any aramba for the sake of honor. You don't do any aramba of activity for the sake of wealth. For the sake of wealth. All of them are not your objective. They are, what do we call it? Collateral results. See, let me share with you. This is a reality. Long ago, long ago, uh, they say, there were the Wright brothers. They were the first people who wanted to do manned flight. And when somebody asked them, why do you want to do manned flight? They spent a lot of personal money on that. And they said, why do you want to manned flight? He said, from west coast to east coast to travel. West coast of America to east coast of America to west coast travel. It will reduce it by 10 hours. People will be benefited. There was another group which also did the same experiments. They asked them, what do you want to do? They said, when we do and we succeed and we do the first manned flight, our stock will go up, our this will go up, our that will go up, we'll get so many dollars and then market share. What is your objective? People should benefit. What was the other man's objective? I should benefit. When I say sarva aramba parityagi, your thought process is people will benefit. Incidentally, I might also benefit. It is no longer my objective. It is not my objective for my feeling good. It is my objective for spread and for doing something for people. Sarva upakara, paropakara. Why do you do this? Why won't I do this? When our Swamiji started All India Movement for Seva, somebody, Swami, why do you want to do it? He said, why won't I want to do it? It is service to the people. I want some facility to be available to people. There are a lot of villages in which students are not able to go to school because they don't have proper transport. So he says, I'm going to start a Chatralaya where students can come and stay there over the week. From here, they can go to the schools nearby. They will come back and stay in these hostels. They're the Chatralaya, he didn't call them hostels. Students residing place. There will be teachers there who will give them other education, who will teach them Vedas, who will teach them other skills. His movement is running well. Why is it? Why won't I do it? It's difficult. He said, that's why I want to do it. Shankara taught, not because he wanted glory. He taught because it benefits people. So, sarva aramba parityagi is you don't start anything for selfish ends. This is the characteristic of a gunatita. Okay, I was speaking to one person, and the person, her response was, I am not doing it for personal glory. I am doing it for the sake because It helps a few people. That's a wonderful attitude. Sarva arambha parityagi. I am not doing it for the sake of my glory. I am not feeling great that I am helping people. I'm doing it because it helps people. See, the whole narrative changes. I do, I am doing is transitive verb. Okay? When you take I, it becomes a transitive verb. It is being done. The whole thing becomes passive voice and you are no longer the karta. The moment you are karta karak, other karakas will come. Okay, this is what is beautiful about this. So let's go. We are almost at the fag end. I will try and complete the two verses today. Next week, we'll have a summary of chapter 14. Now we'll do verse number 20, 4, 5, 6. Mam cha yo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati tetan Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Once more. Mam cha yo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Very beautiful verse. Very, very beautiful verse. Yo, such a person, Mam. When Krishna says Mam, he always means Ishvara. He is not talking of Vasudeva Krishna. He talks about I am Ishvara. Yo Mam Avyabicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate. Sevata means worships. So one who worships me undistracted. Very beautiful word. Avyabicharena. Remember chapter 13? Mai jananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharini, we saw a value. So, mom, in me, mom, me, yo, yaha, avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. What happens to him? Sir, gunan, okay, sama, gunan, sama, atitya. He crosses all the gunas. How beautiful. Okay, let's look at it. What is Bhakti Avyabhicharini? There are, Krishna said in one of his earlier things, Chaturvida bhajante mam arti artharthi jigyasu cha jnani. Okay, we studied that. So who is a Artha Bhakta? Artha Bhakta is a distressed Bhakta. He is a distressed Bhakta, one who is in pain. What's his bhakti? Avyabhicharani bhakti. It is bhakti. It is bhakti. But it doesn't fit into Avyabhicharani bhakti because the bhakti is an instrument for something else. It is a means for something else. What is something else? I want to be free from stomach ache. I want to be free from backache. I want to be free from frozen. Some people have frozen shoulders. Okay. I want to be free from some kind of pain or the other. I want to be free from financial problems. I want to be free from rina, debt. I want free from guilt. I want to be free from hurt. All this is called distressed bhakta. Nobody cares for me. I want people to care for me. Distressed bhakta. Other person, he is in distress, all right, but along with the distress, he also wants a artharthi. He is distressed because he doesn't have money, so he wants more money. He is distressed because he doesn't have friends, so he wants friendships. So, artharthi bhakta. These are the two types of bhaktas whose bhakti is a means, not an end in itself. The bhakti is a means to something else. Then comes avyabhicharini, avyabhicharena bhakti number 3. The first two cannot fall under the category of avyabhichara bhakti. So bhakti number 3, Jigyasu Bhakti. As a person, I look at the world, I look at myself, I say, who am I? What is this Srishti? Who is the Srishti Karta? Jigyasu, an inquiry. Not some random inquiry. He comes from a culture which says the Srishti Karta is Ishvara. If Ishvara is the Srishti Karta, how did he create? Did he sit in some place and create? I am only sharing with you an experience, how I inquired and how Swamiji clarified. Did he sit in some place and create? Yeah, perhaps. Who created the place where he sat and created? So if somebody else sat, that is a better Ishvara. So this Ishvara has to either take on rent or lease or buy that property. है ना? When you say bhakti, avvibicharena bhakti, there is no room for speculation. You have to learn to see things as they are and objectively. So did she sit in some place and create? ये क्या बात है? How can it be possible? Yeah, when it comes to building my own house, I have to go some elsewhere and then build. So what was the house in which God stayed before he built this? So a child asked the mother, Mom, who created earth? Who created the world? Ishvara. Where does he stay? He stays in heaven. Who created heaven? God created heaven. Before God created heaven, where did he stay? What is the opposite of heaven? God stayed in hell, created heaven. How ridiculous can it be? The mother said, Go out and play, don't disturb me. Otherwise, no dinner. It will not come into this. Avyabhicharena bhakti knows what source to approach, and the source says, Ishvara is. We have studied all this before. All this we have studied. Ishvara is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. This is a handkerchief. I made the mistake of wiping something, the colors have not gone. Okay, don't think that this is the kind of handkerchief I use. Okay, a handkerchief made of cotton. What is the material? Cotton. And where is cotton in this? Tell me where there is no cotton in this. There is intelligence. Yes, somebody designed it like this. Okay. So there is intelligence, nimitta karanam, there is upadana karanam, material. So this, the intelligence factor and material factor are separate. Thank God, otherwise I'll have to make the kerchief maker also home. And if I have 10, I'll have 10 fellows sitting around me. Now this is a unique Srishti where Ishvara has created the Srishti out of himself. He is the material cause, he is the intelligent cause. Is it possible? Yes. Yatha urnanabhi srijate krinnate cha. Just as a spider spins a web out of itself, it's an intelligent cause and it spins it back into itself. It doesn't spin it back, it swallows it into itself. You spin it outside and swallow it. You watch, imagine this is slide. You try cutting, it will work. Your own dream. You are the intelligent cause, you are the material cause. So, giving this imagery, the teacher makes you understand that my inquiry leads me to an inquiry and say, so Ishvara is nimitta karanam upadana karanam. That means whatever material I see here is what? Ishvara. I see only Ishvara here. Therefore, Ishvara is never far away from me. Tell me, how can Ishwara, how can cotton ever be far away from his handkerchief? In the Srishti, how can Ishwara be far away from me? He manifests as objects, manifested objects, yet to manifest objects, unmanifest objects. He manifests as the laws. Sunrise, there is a law. Sunset, there is a law. Earth spinning around seasons, there is a law. Gravity, law. Escaping from gravity, another law. Ice melting, law. Water freezing, law. Evaporation, law. Precipitation, law. I see Ishvara manifesting himself as all the laws. How can Ishvara ever be far away from me? I don't search for Ishvara. He is a Jigyasu Bhakta. He doesn't search for Ishvara. He understands the reality that Ishvara is not away from me. I have to see Ishvara in and through all the entire Srishti and its manifestation. I don't look for Ishvara in time and space. That becomes Nitya Paroksha Ishvara. Permanently have to go to heaven to see him. There'll be a huge, he can't stand a temple crowd. Just imagine the crowd in Vaikunta. And Bhagavan will say, okay, I'll clear this hall, next batch has to come. So even in Bhagavan's presence, you will be dukkha because they will ask you to vacate. You say, I can't, you see, your backache is not going to disappear. It will come to your Vaikunta also. So there also you will need a chair. So it cannot be a time and space Ishvara. But how do I start? How do I start? I start it as I can look at Saguna Rupa Ishvara. Ishvara in a form. Saguna Rupa. Ishvara is Nirguna. But I can look at him as Saguna so that I get used to Saguna. First, from the Saguna, I mature. Let this be X factor. Thereafter, X is dropped. You don't bother why X is used thereafter. Saguna Rupa Ishvara. Then Nirguna Ishvara. There is, everything is law. Everything is law. This wall stands because of law. There is a picture here because of law. There is this because of law. There is a cough, law. And you drink water, cough goes away, law. Law, you see law everywhere. This is Nirguna Ishvara. Then comes a third Ishvara. It is called Pratyag Atma. Your own Atma is Ishvara. Because remember chapter 13, Krishna says, in every Kshetra, I am the Kshetragya. Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata Aham Kshetragya. There is one conscious factor in all living beings, and that's me. So, are you a conscious being? Is there consciousness? Yes. Don't say I'm not conscious. There is consciousness. Who is that consciousness? The Jigyasu says, hey, the consciousness that I am is Ishvara. Because there is a Kshetra. In this Kshetra, there is a Kshetragya. And that Kshetragya is Ishvara. There is a mosquito. There is a Kshetragya, Ishvara. But that Ishvara doesn't have ahankar. That is, the mosquito doesn't have the ahankara like you and I have. Okay? So look at the understanding. The Jigyasu matures in knowledge. And this, with this wisdom, with this knowledge, sevate. He finds everything reverential and worshipful. Gunas are Ishvara. I have, at some point of time, I have provoked into being angry. What do other person says? Ishvara manifests. In this situation, it is manifest as anger. The law, it is manifest as anger. Look at the vision of this person. Object Ishvara is never going to come from somewhere to see you. It's not a time and space Ishvara. You can sing. You can sing. I once heard a song. I was in Bangalore. They were having a satsang. They called me. They said, "Aap aake kuch boliye." So they were singing. Hey Krishna, तुम आके हमें ले जाओ या हम वहां आ जाएंगे. Something like that they said. Come and take us or we will come there. Good, very nice. The person who sang it very melodiously. They all clapped and did bhajan and danced, and then the prasad was equally good, much better. Okay, then they asked me to speak. After that, they never called me. Because I said, see, you people did something. Hey Bhagwan, आ जाओ हमें ले जाओ या हम वहां आ जाएंगे. Suppose Bhagwan took you seriously and came here, are you prepared to go with him? Ah. So if you do Saguna Rupa Ishvara and if this intelligence doesn't work, you're going to have problems. You're definitely going to have problems. The beautiful song. Darshan do gan sham nath mori akhiyan pyasi re. Darshan do gan sham. This Darshan Jo Ghanshyam means not that he is in the other room and he will come and see me. It's all dark. I am in a temple, Garbha Graha. It is all dark. And that fellow lights a campfire and says, Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Meaning, it's all dark. In the Jnana Agni, miracle, magic happens. I see Ishvara. It's all dark. Itna bada, oh my God, so vast. I am limited. I am small. I am scared. When the Jnana Agni lights up, my God, miraculous. It's magic. So, Gunan, Sama Atitya, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He is able to see oneself as Brahman. And what kind of bhakti? Avyabhicharini, unswerving, unwavering bhakti. Unwavering bhakti means you don't carry away. Somebody says, I went there. There, Krishna opened his eyes and sees once a year. Hey, Krishna opens his eyes and sees me every year. Every morning he sees me. Kataksha Kirana Chant Naman Mohabdaye Namaha. Krishna sees me out of the corner of his eyes. No big deal. In fact, Krishna is never absent so that he has to open. He never closes his eyes so that he has to open his eyes and see me. Let's say poems के लिए okay है. But this Krishna, when will you open my eyes? मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे. अरे एक बार वॉशिंग मशीन में साफ कर लो यार. क्या बात. You don't have to become an arti artharti bhakta. Jigyasu bhakta. Jigyasu bhakta. You grow. You insightfully see the presence of Ishvara everywhere. And did Ishvara pratyag atma sarva kshetreshu bharata aham kshetragya. So the kshetragya in you is me. This bhakti is avyabhichari bhakti. What about a jnani? Jnani is jigyasu is a seeker bhakta. Okay? Jnani is a fulfilled bhakta. Jigyasu is a sadhaka bhakta. Jnani, he knows the reality. And he continues to be bhakta because he cannot but be a bhakta. Bhakta means one whose heart is full with Ishvara and his vibhuti. Bhakta doesn't mean jaja jaja jaja. Bhakta means one whose heart is full with the presence of Ishvara everywhere. Two lifestyles have been given out. What are those lifestyles? He says, Bhakti Yoga here means Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. In and through all your karma, you invoke Ishvara. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. You can invoke Ishvara only when you see Ishvara as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. So this is the meaning. We go to the last verse. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukaiskandikasya cha sukasyaikantikasya cha. Brahmana will come to Brahman. This is the nature of Brahman. What is the nature of Brahman? Pratishtha, the basis of everything. So this Pratishtha word has to be understood. Pratishtha means established. Where is heaven established? In Srishti. In Srishti. So heaven is impermanent. You must have the guts to accept it. There is no permanent heaven. There is no permanent health also. Hell. Permanent health is also not there. So, pratishtha. There is one type of pratishtha which is established in Srishti. Seeking the pratishtha of Srishti is not fulfilling because Srishti has to go unmanifest sometime. Alya pratishtha will also unmanifest. There is Brahman pratishtha. In Brahman, Atma is as though the basis of Atma is Brahman. When you look at the total, it is Brahman. When you look at individual, it is Atma. So this Atma is established in the total Brahman. They are not two separate things. When I refer to it as total, I call it Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, I am total. This Pratyagatma is that Brahman, the same. Yeah. Jal mein kumbh mein jal hai, bhitar bahar pani. There is a small, in an ocean, in a sagara, there is a kumbha in which water is there. Are the waters different? Jal mein kumbh mein jal hai, bhitar bahar pani. So, this Brahman, this Atma established in Brahman, what is the nature? Amritasya. And that, okay, look at the words there. Aham Atma, in Brahman Pratishtha, I am Brahman, and my nature, this is for you all to do with Nididhyasanam. Not say, okay, Brahman is somewhere. I am that Brahman, you are that Brahman. I am that, at least for 5 minutes a day, think I am that Brahman. The quality of life will transform. Aham that Brahma, not Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahmane. Aham that Brahman, I am that total being, I am that conscious being. What is the nature of the conscious being? Amritasya. As a knower, there is no death. Amritasya. Avyayasya, there are no changes, modification. All changes, modifications, hence happens in the body, mind, sense complex. Your objective to death, your objective to changes. Shashvatasya, This is the only permanent thing. In this world, we are all looking for a permanent job. The job employer himself is not permanent. Okay, there's a nice song, na? कुछ तो आकर चले गए, कुछ जाने को तैयार. There's a nice song, na? Okay, खबरदार, खबरदार. Remember, this is the only. What is the Shaswata? Kshetragya. You alone. Chaitanyam is Shashvata. And Dharma. This Chaitanyam is sustaining the entire universe. Sukhasya. You are the only source of Aikantika Sukha. Aikantika means the only source of Sukham. Aikantika Sukhasya. And who is this? Who are we talking about? Tat Tvam Asi. So where did Krishna start from? He says there are gunas and all these things are there. Where are they? They are in the world of objects. And according to the play of these gunas, objects will modify, change, will happen. Who are you? I am Guna Atita, meaning I am the knower of the gunas. Is there such a person? Yes. There are so many people. And how do I recognize them? They'll be balanced fellows. Dhiraha, Sukha Dukkha, they will handle. Even relative Sukha Dukkha, you and I are able to handle. All of us are like that. Many of us are like that. And we have come here, chapter 14. All of us are what you call Uttama Adhikaris. Many of you fit into this category. Only one more thing you have to do is you have to see yourself as Brahman. Okay, how do you see yourself? You cannot objectify yourself. You have to understand that you are already Brahman and you have to own up that Brahman status. What is the Brahman status? How is Brahman? What are the qualifying? They are nouns in apposition. Qualifying nouns. How are they? Aham Pratishtha. I am the basis of. I am the Atma. I am Brahman is my basis. Okay. Pratishtitam aham. Amritasya aham. Avyayasya aham. Shashvatasya aham. Dharmasya aham. Come to the punch. Aikantikasya sukha aham. I am the only source of happiness in Srishti. Everything else borrows its happiness from me. Okay, so what? Therefore, don't lean on objects for permanent security, peace, and happiness because they tend to move away. It's like leaning on a wheelchair. One fellow took support of a wheelchair and tried to put on his shoes. The wheelchair moved. So if you hold on to the world of objects for permanent peace, security, and move, you are left to the. You are the source. That's what Krishna is leading to. We have come to 14. Now just 3, 15, 16, 17, 18. In a few months, we will be able to complete this Sankalpa. Ishvara Sankalpa, it's not mine. So we end this with chanting. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Krishna Arjuna Sambadhe Guna Traya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Chaturdashodhyaya. The 15th chapter is called Purushottama Yoga. Another amazing chapter. Okay, we will follow it up from next part. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalinim देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भया सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. At least it's come only now. Hello. வந்துட்டீங்களா இங்க? I will open the door for you. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So, tomorrow, 9 p.m., I'll be doing a session for a group called Swara Gita, where I'll be giving you a vision of the whole Gita, all 18 chapters in 30 to 40 minutes. I'll share the link. Please join if you have the time. One short Gita. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah
Thank you,
Om
sir.
Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.